In 1226, an aging conqueror, weathered by decades of war, rode into battle one final time. Genghis Khan, ruler of the greatest land empire the world had ever seen, turned his gaze south, toward the Tangut kingdom of Western Xia. This would be his last campaign, and his most unforgiving. The stage was set for a brutal finale to a life defined by conquest. The story of this war begins with a perceived betrayal. The Western Xia kingdom had once submitted to Mongol rule, accepting the status of a vassal state. But during Genghis Khan's massive campaign against the Khwarezmian Empire far to the west, a critical moment arrived. The Khan requested troops from his vassals to support the invasion. The Tanguts refused. To Genghis Khan, this was not just a political miscalculation. It was an act of defiance, a deep personal insult. And in the Mongol world, betrayal was a sin that was never, ever forgiven. The seeds of vengeance were sown. The storm broke in the autumn of 1226. Mongol armies, a force honed by years of relentless warfare, poured into Western Xia territory. This was not a campaign of swift submission. It was a war of annihilation. City after city was besieged, its defenses systematically broken down by Mongol engineering and tactical genius. But unlike in some earlier conquests, where serenity could lead to mercy, here it was rare. The orders from the great Khan were clear. Total destruction. The goal was not merely to conquer, but to erase, to ensure that the Tangut kingdom could never rise again to challenge Mongol authority. This was total war, waged with a chilling efficiency. The campaign methodically advanced, leaving a trail of devastation. The ultimate target was the Tangut capital, then known as Zhongxing, Modandei, a large, heavily fortified city. It represented the heart of Tangut culture and power. As the Mongol armies converged, they formed an iron ring around the city, cutting off all supplies and all hope of escape. The siege began, a slow, agonizing process designed to starve the defenders into submission. Inside the walls, the Tangut people faced a desperate choice as their resources dwindled. Their fate, and the fate of their entire civilization, was sealed. It was during this final, grueling siege that history took an unexpected turn. Genghis Khan, the seemingly invincible leader, fell from his horse during a hunt, or perhaps fell gravely ill. The exact cause remains one of history's great mysteries, debated by scholars to this day. What is known is that his condition worsened. In August of 1227, with the Tangut capital on the very brink of surrender, the greatest conqueror in history died to prevent chaos and maintain morale. His death was kept a closely guarded secret from both his own troops and the enemy until the final victory was secured. Following the surrender of the capital, the final orders of the deceased Khan were carried out. The city was sacked, and the entire kingdom of Western Xia was systematically dismantled. Its cities were razed, its people were scattered or eliminated, and its written records largely destroyed. The once proud Tangut civilization was effectively wiped from the face of the earth, a haunting testament to the wrath of Genghis Khan. It was the final, brutal act of a legendary reign. Genghis Khan did not live to see the Mongol Empire reach its greatest extent under his sons and grandsons, but with his final, vengeful campaign, he sent an undeniable message to the world and secured the foundation of his empire, ensuring that the legacy he built would endure long after he was gone. The legend had ended, but the empire would live on.